What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast, episode 394, coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Bonsted, New Hampshire. It's the podcast where we talk barbecue, everything barbecue, and a lot of other topics that we normally talk around the pit. Oh, here I am, like I was just saying, I thought I was done with this, but apparently not. So,
Yep, back in.
we'll get to it. For sure. But thank you all for tuning in tonight, joining me on this Martin Luther King Day weekend. So if you had the day off, hope you enjoyed it. If you had to work, well, you had to work. These are the things we got to do. But let's get into it, folks. Tonight's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. What can I say, folks? Uncle Steve, an amazing guy, amazing products, always all product to be as fresh as possible. If you order today and you receive your order by the end of the week, know that product that you're getting was probably mixed tomorrow or Wednesday at the absolute latest. It's never sitting around on a shelf somewhere. Always fresh, always quality ingredients. And, he takes pride in everything he does. He's mixing it. He's bottling, packaging, labeling, packing, shipping, the whole nine. He's answering the phone calls. He's answering the emails. He's reaching out to you via phone or email if he has a question about your order. He wants your order to be exactly what you're looking for. If you have questions about maybe what you are looking for, he'll take the time to sit there and have a conversation with you, working out some flavor profiles, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to cook, and give you some wonderful suggestions of his amazing 19 incredible line of product. Also, the sauce with no name. So in theory, 20. But unbelievable. Check him out at UncleSteveShake.com. Also follow along on Facebook at Uncle Steve Shake Nation. Uncle Steve Shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the Diamond of Roy City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew do an amazing job day in, day out. Never, very rarely, never a day off. Maybe Christmas Day. That's it. The rest of them, I'm pretty sure he's there. But protein selection, absolutely fantastic. You need a specific cutness. Listen to me. Cut or thick cutness. Jesus. You need to cut a certain thickness. There we go. He's got you covered. Are you looking for something he might not carry? He'll work with you to get it in, to make what your recipe come to life. Fresh produce brought in daily. For all us comp guys and backyarders, he's got us covered too with multiple lines of sauces, seasonings, rubs, injections, marinades. The Joe's Meat Market house line, which I also believe is up to about 17 or 19 different SKUs on its own. And while you're there, feeling a little hungry, he's got you covered too. Gabriel's mom is behind the counter whipping up some of the freshest cuisine out there. So grab a plate, grab a bowl, have a seat down with the boys, and let it go. Make a new friend on this wonderful, crazy world of barbecue and live fire. And like I said, if you're ever in the Roy City, Texas area, swing on by Joe's Meat Market. Tell Gabriel and the crew I sent you. Remember, folks, Joe's Meat Market for the win. Uncle Steve, I cannot confirm nor deny that I still have the flu, but I'm leaning to confirming. It kind of creeped back up this morning, but it is what it is. But let's see here. Obviously, Uncle Steve is there. Joe's Meat Market is there. What's up, Gabriel? Daddy Dutch, Tom's Food Factory. What's up, brother? And my sorry ass a couple times. All right. So the boys will be creeping in as we get going. But ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to talk with this gentleman. He was featured with our good friend Ray Sheehan on Ray's holiday gift guide of 2025. Uh, you may know him as the president of AmazingRibs.com, working side by side with our amazing friend and friend of the show, Meathead. And also, we're going to get into it a little later. He's got another endeavor on a little barbecue apparel. So we'll get into that a little later on. But, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Mr. Clint Cantwell. Clint, how are you, brother?
Barbecue, as my friend Sully used to say up in the Northeast.
What's happening, man?
Oh, not much. Just trying to stay warm here in Memphis. We're looking at
Yeah.
some snow later this week, which will probably shut us down for the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, we actually we got a couple flurries going out there right now. It's been on and off all day up this way. But
Yeah, I think I told you that's actually why I moved to the south about 14 years ago. I got tired of shoveling the snow up in Long Island, so gave away the
yep.
snowblower and hit the road.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Bob Stewart, what's happening? Coming to us from the great state of Texas. So, Clint, like I said, it's very laid back, and we'll get into everything. One thing leads to another. So please tell us a little bit about you. What you do or what you did, I suppose, more so,
Mm-hmm.
uh, before you got involved with AmazingRibs.com.
Yeah, so it's been a long, strange journey. I was born in Texas, so I definitely had barbecue coursing through my veins at a very young age. And, I grew up with my parents cooking brisket overnight on a cheap Brinkman smoker, cooking for the neighbors, and, just seeing all of the togetherness that it formed when I was younger. And then we also lived in Kansas City for 2 years and got to know the Kansas City style of barbecue some too. But it was many years later, after I had gotten married and moved to New York, that my passion really exploded. I bought a smoker and a grill for our very first house, and I was working in a pretty high stress job up in New York. So it was kind of my way to relax on the weekends. And just started teaching myself barbecue and grilling techniques and grew that. I started doing contests up there, met a lot of wonderful, wonderful folks that I'm still friends with today. And, one thing led to another. I was posting some recipes on the internet in the very early days of blogs, got the attention of Kingsford. So I got brought in by them to start a site called grilling.com, probably 17 years or so ago. And
Wow.
then
Okay.
so that kind of got me started down the blogging road and online barbecue and grilling content space. And that site kept growing and growing to the point that I was eventually able to ditch my New York job in the PR industry and kind of focus on that long term, as a full-time gig. So by the time we moved to Memphis, that was pretty much what I was doing day in and day out. And Meathead was actually one of the bloggers for that site, one of our VIP ambassadors. So that's how we got
Okay.
connected back in the day. And it kind of went from there.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I don't know if you know much about
um,
Kingsford, but they're owned by Clorox, a mega corporation. And I
okay.
got a call, I got a call one day that Clorox had a new president who decided spending money on the URL grilling.com wasn't an effective use of their cash. So he basically shut down the greatest URL in the world overnight. We lost all of that content. And, shortly after, Meathead reached out to me and asked if I wanted to come to work for AmazingRibs.com. So that was 10 years ago next month.
Uh, quick 10 years, ain't it though? I know
Oh,
we
it
had talked
is.
about that when we first chatted. Uh, NDL, what's happening, brother? So that's how it all led into AmazingRibs.com. Now you have .com, and I have spoken on numerous occasions. He's always popping up somewhere. Now, are you?
Hey, I think I may have lost you. You were breaking up quite a bit. Johnny.
A couple little snowflakes up this way, Clint, and it throws it all off. Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, I
Hey,
lost you
thanks,
for a
Chef.
minute there.
Oh, yeah, it has that. This is the wonderful thing about being in central New Hampshire
Yeah.
is all the internet providers are in here around here are terrible.
Hmm.
So we basically run everything off a cell phone hotspot.
Oh, wow.
So if the weather kicks out up a little bit and you lose one little bar on that cell phone, oh, you, am I going to stay on? You got a better chance of guessing the Powerball numbers for next week. Don't
Well, I'll be here.
make me
I'll just
laugh.
hang out and smile as you go in and out.
Yeah, no. Hopefully that'll be the last one. Normally it gives me a little right up here in the corner here. It'll give me a little level of if it's bad or not. And
Oh,
nope,
I
that
got
one just went gotcha this time. But so before I was so rudely interrupted by the internet,
you.
um, on your role on a day to day basis, are you working side by side with Meathead a lot of the times, or are you kind
Yeah,
of
pretty
doing your
much.
own thing?
It's kind of evolved over the last 10 years. The site is now in its 21st year. So Meathead has been at it for a very long time and really kind of pioneered the barbecue and grilling space online. But, as he worked on his cookbooks and, as he built the business, he really needed a lot of assistance with the day to day of the site. So my role has kind of grown over the years, and now he's at retirement age, so he's trying to step back as much as possible, and that's that's how I kind of moved from my original job, which was vice president of whatever, because I was basically doing a little of this, a little of that, shooting photos,
Yep.
writing recipes, figuring out HTML, everything, So I kind of grew that role, and now I'm president of AmazingRibs.com. So really kind of charged with going into this third decade of the site and what that looks like, and working with the rest of the team that we have, and kind of take a little bit of weight off Meathead's shoulders so he can go and enjoy some traveling and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know, recently, I don't know, was it when he was with Greg Rempe last month? Maybe he said he was planning to start stepping back a little bit and
Yeah.
you know having you headstrong a lot of the stuff now and
Mm-hmm.
but so like with that, because I know actually we have just you and I speaking, a couple weeks ago, getting everything set
Mm-hmm.
up. But I know from the past interviews with him on the different platforms, um, he had said like you do like a lot of the testing of like grills, equipment like that, or gadgets, things like that. Is there more to it on obviously there's more to it, but talking on the testing end for
Mm-hmm.
research and development, you know, how does that all work? There are certain days you're playing with grills, certain days um, thermometers, certain days, utensils, if you will, or any other. Especially now in this high tech world, everybody's coming up with the latest and greatest of wireless, internetless, all that
Mm-hmm.
good stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Meathead's sweet spot is kind of in the science and myth busting part of the site, and that's really where his reputation lies. I'm kind of a mixed bag. I like to do creative recipes and kind of think outside the box as far as what barbecue and grilling is. But we also have Max Good on our team, who is his full time job is doing hands on reviews of products. And I do try to jump in there every once in a while and help him out, but they're pretty exhaustive reviews. He really puts stuff to the test, kicks the tires, does weeks and weeks worth of testing of smokers and grills and all of that. So every time I see a new device that I want to review, I get excited until I have to actually write it up, and it's a lot of work. We don't want to be seen as people that are somehow influenced by these brands, or that we're
Yeah,
just taking the free stuff and giving them a platinum medal for that reason alone. We really want to make sure that people can look side by side, this charcoal grill versus this one, and apply the same testing methodology to those two so that you can really make an informed decision on that. And then,
yes,
we've got, so that's like, ooh, I bet we've got over 500 tested products, and then recipes is 700 or so. And the site itself
wow,
is about 2,000 pages, just to give you a rough idea of the size and scope of the operation. I lost you again, but I will mention that we recently brought in a really great site editor, Dave Joachim, who has written a lot of barbecue and grilling cookbooks and has co-authored various cooking cookbooks. cookbooks,
Yeah.
cooking books or cookbooks. And it's been great having him on board. He has really helped elevate the writing on the site and kind of help with this reimagining of what AmazingRibs.com is going to be moving forward, and the legacy of Meathead carrying on everything that he's built with the business, and just continue to become bigger and badder and bolder.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Kevin Hernandez, my pizza burning. What's up, homie? Um, no, absolutely. Amazing Ribs. It's just it is the staple on internet forums, internet sites, however you want to categorize everything at the
Yeah,
amount of content has you have your regular content that's available for everybody, and then you also have the Pitmasters Club.
yeah. That's
And
that's 14,000 backyard cooks that are paid members of the Pitmaster Club. So that's a pretty loyal audience, and we get a lot of great interaction with brands that are trying to reach these folks like you and me that are out there smoking and grilling in the middle of winter, and it's not just hot dogs on July 4th. These folks are out there every day, and brands have kind of tapped into that and reaching these folks that I really consider them to be barbecue influencers. They're the people in their backyard that friends and neighbors go to and say, what smoker should I be buying? Or how do I make a brisket? And so the Pitmaster Club kind of brings them together. And I mentioned brands. We've actually had some brands do beta test with the Pitmaster Club members where
okay.
so somebody like Fireboard or Weber will come to us and say, hey, we've got a cool product in the pipeline. Do you think some of your members would want to test it out and give us feedback on it? Because a lot of the time these bigger companies, they develop products, but the people doing the testing aren't necessarily the folks that have to take it out of the box and put it together and realize that there aren't
Mm-hmm.
enough screws, or there's just a lot of goofy things when you buy a new product and you ask yourself
Oh, absolutely.
who actually tested this thing and made sure that the consumer would be able to work with it, or the software is never right, or so many different things. So these members are actually able to do hands-on testing, and as people that are really really embedded in the barbecue and grilling world, they're able to provide some really cool feedback to these folks, and they feel kind of special because they're getting to touch something before anyone else in the world is.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Stephen Pfeiffer, quit sending us y'all's crazy weather down here. Sorry, brother, I got no control over that. I have
Yeah,
no control over that. If I can take it back, I will. Sig's Kitchen, Nick, what's happening, brother? Can add some crash so you can play the Wi-Fi bill. Chef Johnny is all over me tonight. Ah, I love him though. I love him.
yeah, that's
It's the
crazy. I
old thing.
think
If they're not busting your chops, you're doing something wrong.
yep,
That that's that's where I'm at this point. Um, actually, hey Dutch, I know you're out there. Sign on, brother. So just in case I do keep kicking out like this, at least um, a consistent conversation will be had. At least one of us can run this while I'm playing reconnect over here. But no, like you were saying, Clint, with Fireboard, in particular,
hmm
um, a great company, great products. I had the chance to use the Fireboard Spark for a
oh
while,
yeah,
and absolutely amazing product. And oddly enough, I just received an email from them today. So
Oh,
I'm going to be filling out some stuff tomorrow, and
nice.
we'll see what happens from there. That's interesting. But yeah, that Fireboard Spark, man, great. So um, multi-use. I understand it's a handheld thermometer,
Oh,
but
it's really cool though.
with the dial
Hmm.
changing and knowing the angle you have it. So if you're coming in right-handed, you have it. If you're
Yeah,
coming in left-handed, if you're upside down, it'll stack the numbers. Or if you're flipping from the side, it'll introvert the numbers. So you're
yeah.
always getting the right reading. And you can also use it. It has the hidden probe
Yes.
input. So you could
Hmm.
use it as a wired probe with the full um, cell phone Bluetooth capability to monitor
Yeah.
from your phone. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I
Over the
thought,
years, I no, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, I thought the idea of putting that port on there for a wired probe was just brilliant. It's such a smart
Yes.
move.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Because I was looking at it when charging it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Oh no, no way! I'm going to find an extra probe. I'm like, yup, that's exactly what that is.
That's
Because
awesome.
I never read any directions.
Oh, no, you're not
You
supposed to.
turn it on and probe the meat. Let's get a
Yeah.
temperature. You know, but like and you've probably run through it so more than any of us. We'll get reach out from a company. Hey, I'd
Hmm.
like to send you this
Yeah.
and let you run it through the gauntlet. And it's like, okay, well, first off, here's a couple things. Do you want me to lie to you, or do you want me to tell
Yeah.
you the truth? Because I
100%.
know you've spent a lot of time developing this, a lot of
Yeah.
time, energy, money, everything to go. So,
Hmm.
do you want me to lie to you, or do you want me to tell you personally the truth?
Yeah.
Then, do you want me to lie or tell the truth to the public?
Hmm.
And then, just to let you know, I am going to destroy this. I
Yeah.
am tough on equipment, just to be straight out with all of them. And I had one, the grill fighter, uh, grill brush,
Oh, yeah.
Marvin Weinberg,
Hmm.
incredible gentleman, an incredible product. And he's like, listen, he goes, no, I want you to try to break this.
Good.
Do whatever you want to on this because it just shows me where I would need to make an improvement, make
Yeah.
something a little bit sturdier, and all of that. And he had sent me it, and I rang that through the ringer, and yeah, incredible. It held up phenomenally. He was so grateful on a couple of my suggestions. And that's the other thing. Once you get this product in other people's hands, you're
Yeah.
now at the will of their imagination.
Hmm.
Because we were coming up with things that they never thought even possible with it.
Yeah.
As simple as a grill brush. He's like, I never thought of it that way. Or
Hmm.
the design with the chain mail. Very easy for a back and forth on a grate, a Weber kettle, a gas
Yeah.
grill grate. But like on my big pit, it's the how do you call it? The diamond cut grates, like the
Oh, yeah.
diamond plate.
Hmm.
So you can't go back and forth. you have to go at like a 45 angle
Yeah.
to get the smooth grip. Found that out, worked that out, worked that kink out, so
Yeah.
now he knows, hey, if you're on this surface, it's, straight up and down. On this surface,
Yeah.
more of a 45-degree angle, and you get in there. But it's those little things. And, and he was so grateful, but you also run into some of the other people who are almost, if you say something, and it's like, yo, dude, you called me.
Yeah.
I asked you. You wanted me to run it through the gamut. I ran it through the gamut.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, Dutch. I'm just going to throw it in the chat here. Clint, give me
Yeah. You
one
wish,
second, sir.
kind of wish that more
And
customer service
edit.
operated that way.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely.
And
And
part of the problem
paste.
is, if you're developing a product and looking at it every single day for years, it's hard to see outside of that little window.
Yeah.
That's why real feedback from somebody like you or a Pitmaster Club member is so valuable if the brand decides to listen. And that's
Mm-hmm.
always the challenge. I think you popped off again, but I literally just had a brand that I won't name, but a pretty big barbecue brand a couple of weeks ago. And for whatever reason, I reached out to them about an issue with the product. Didn't hear back for a week. Tried the phone number, left a voicemail. Didn't hear back for a week. Used the online form, blah, blah, blah. And it was a really big barbecue brand.
Mm.
Was just completely unresponsive. It's not a great way to run a business when you're trying to sell product
No,
to individuals.
no, not at all. I understand you don't want to, on a business aspect, you don't want the perfect product, I
Yeah.
suppose, to a level,
Yeah.
because you want people to rebuy and, but
Yeah.
I don't need to be rebuying every month,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Get a new one, depending on what we're talking about, a new one every year.
Yeah.
Sure, seasonal. But yeah, no, something, and they don't want to, get back to you and respond and everything. And here comes my internet savior.
What's up,
Hello,
buddy?
Dutch.
Hello, sir. How are
Thank
you?
you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, buddy.
Clint, Dutch, Clint.
What's happening,
Oh,
brother?
How are you, Clint? Good to
I
see
am
you.
good. You too.
but no, those products, and like you're saying, it's so, like you're saying, and it was a major brand name in the
Yeah.
barbecue and grilling industry, which, your customer service should be a little bit better than that. If you're running
Yeah.
into an issue with something, and but hey,
But I also,
some
I mean, at
people,
the same time, I don't want to be playing the "Do you know who I am and how important I am" card. I really want,
absolutely,
like I said with Max, he really wants to do independent reviews that position us as a trusted authority and that we're not simply plugging products because we're also being paid by them. So if I have an issue with a product, I go through the same phone number that you would or whatever, not a
hmm
Clint at AmazingRibs.com email. I'm the president of
yeah,
AmazingRibs.com. You better bow down to the one you serve.
no, absolutely, absolutely, no, because on something like that, you want to be every other guy,
Yeah.
because that's what you do. you're putting, you know, the tests together, the trials, the research and development, all together. You're putting the work in for folks out there, including myself. I don't have all the time in the world either.
Yeah.
But if I want to or am introduced to a product, I always know I can go to Mason's Cross. Right? They've already been through with this one. This is what they found, and anything. Okay, that's great. Or you have a couple who are very similar.
Yeah.
You can do the old side by side comparisons
Yeah.
of all that. So what you guys do with at Amazing Ribs, yeah, is absolutely priceless in my opinion.
Oh, good.
So
You just gave me
and
another
then
reason
it's
to get out of bed every day.
there you go, there you go. Um, and then like we were talking before, the recipes alone. Who doesn't love new recipes?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and I
but
also
no, that's
I've got a crazy mind that is hard to shut off. So a lot of my stuff is really out of the box, kind of nuts types of recipes. I'll just get these
mhm.
ideas when I'm trying to fall asleep at night. So, just having a little fun with it too, because it doesn't all have to be hot dogs and hamburgers.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Larry Vaughn, afternoon from South Jersey, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, so Dutch, you've been following along,
Yes, sir.
and my internet is clearly terrible this evening. And I've
Uh-huh.
been on. You have to admit, I've been on a pretty good run lately of
Yeah,
stability.
not bad.
Not
And then
bad. So of course it's
like,
today.
like this on and two snowflakes, got to screw everything up.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you at?
Right.
Where you live, Dutch?
I am in Iowa.
Oh, okay. So it's probably snowy there too today, right?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not where I'm at. I'm in the northwest corner, but about an hour and a half east of here. They shut down the interstate yesterday, so
Wow.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, I think we're in for 5 to 6 inches of snow here in Memphis in a couple days. So that'll put us out of commission until 2027, I'm betting.
Or until it hits 80 degrees for a weekend.
Yeah. I'll see you
Yep.
guys at Memphis in May. That's the next time I'm getting out of my house.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Mad Max, what's happening, brother? Texas Barbecue Chapter in the house. Absolutely, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, so, with the talks of you taking more of the reins and this meathead stepping back a little bit, is there going to be any, I guess, changes, or are you sticking with the blueprint that has worked, or do you have a little bit more? I don't want to say you have possibly a little bit more freedom on some things, or
Yeah. I think definitely looking at things differently. The landscape of barbecue and grilling content sites has really changed so dramatically over I'd say the last 10 years or so, you know, going back to when I first joined up with Meathead. And there's so many more super talented folks out there putting out great content. And, I want to kind of learn from them and evolve from them because we were two of the first ones in this space with grilling.com and amazingribs.com. So, I'm always trying to learn and evolve and, give the website a different look and feel. I'm never stepping entirely away from the formula that's worked for 20 years, but, bringing a new voice to that and, figuring out what AmazingRibs.com is, not post Meathead, but, in this evolution of the site. So we're going to have a new look and feel of the site coming out in a few months. And hopefully I'd like to get back to doing some more video content, recipe content this year. But it's just, it's a grind. Keeping the site running
absolutely.
is pretty much a full-time job. So I would like to get back in the kitchen, get back in the backyard, and scratch my creative itch a little bit more this year.
All right. All right. So with all the years of this and, testing grills and smokers and pellets and everything, the whole array, what is in your backyard for for cooking vessels? What are you cooking on a regular basis on your personal time?
It's my backyard is always evolving. It used to be about 16 smokers and grills, which I think everyone listening can relate to. My wife started to rule one in, one out several years ago. So when something nice ended up on the front porch, I had to get rid of something else. And, I've kind of pared it back to what I really enjoy cooking on. My 27-inch Weber kettle is probably my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm cooking over charcoal, I just feel like it's got a nice amount of space to be able to do real two-zone cooking and do so much more on it. I will say that I'm using the pellet cooker more and more as the years go on, just because it's, I got so much else going on with 3 kids and the website and everything else. When I want to just cook something for dinner, it's super easy. It's basically
Yeah.
a gas grill, but with that smoke flavor. And, I don't have to be sitting out there overnight feeding logs to my stick burner, just for that perception that that's the only thing that a barbecuer should be cooking on. I'm not in my 20s anymore, sitting out in the backyard drinking beers all night, doing whatever. I like to get it done and go and enjoy the food now.
No, absolutely,
Oh, and then
absolutely, and
I do have a Kamado. I've got a beautiful Komodo Kamado in the backyard.
oh,
That's kind of my baby.
okay, very nice, very nice, and oh, we just have a comment here from a Kent Vanderweerd. But does he have a Broen sear for his kettle? This could be a video you could be interested in, Clint.
Yes.
Dutch,
Sounds
take it
intriguing.
away, because I'm gonna butcher the whole story.
All right. So, Clint, what I did, we had gotten a new Weber kettle, and this was about the time that David Parrish's Slow and Sear came out.
Yep.
Which, if you got the basic kettle, the whole setup, costs about the same as the kettle.
Yep.
So what I ended up doing, and I made a video out of it, is the 2 Half Moon charcoal baskets that you get with your kettle.
Yep.
I actually bolted those together, popped the curved part open, married them up.
So it's kind of an oval.
Well, yeah, it's. Imagine looking down at a segment of an orange. So you got a flat line and it's curved to fit the outside of the kettle.
Yeah.
And that takes up, if you measure it, if I remember correctly, at 19 inches, it'll take up roughly 1/3 of your 22-inch kettle.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it the Broen Sear.
Nice.
Because you do 2-zone that way with parts that already come with the kettle. In fact, an hour ago, and this video is 7, 8 years old. I just got a comment on it this afternoon about it.
Oh, wow.
About a guy who built one, and then to one up that, David has his drip and griddle. Well, I kind of like that idea of forcing the air through the charcoal basket for a cleaner burn. So I worked for a trucking company, well, part-time anyway, and took a sheet of the exterior trailer tin and cut it to fit to force most of the air up through the charcoal basket.
Oh, okay.
So for 2-zone cooking, works great. So
nice.
Yeah, and for everything involved, if you got to buy the piece of tin and the bolts, you might have maybe $10 invested.
Not too shabby.
So it's poor man's
No.
Sloan.
Hey,
Those are the types of
that's how
projects
some of
I enjoy
these.
about.
That's how some of this stuff comes about.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Well,
And-
Dave Parrish, Sloan's here. His product was actually born out of the Pitmaster Club, the AmazingRibs.com Pitmaster Club. He was a moderator for the Pitmaster Club for several years, and he and our lead moderator, Husky, kind of came up with this product together just based on feedback that they were getting in there. And lo and behold, he took it and ran with it. So
Yep.
yeah,
And
there's so many things out there that just came from tinkering in the garage.
right. And cooking with CJ and I had a show called The Hot Seat. We ran it for about 3.5 years. We actually interviewed David. That was probably, that's right when the Slow and Sear 2.0 came out.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's what, 5-6 years ago now, I think. I'd have to look up the video to give you the exact date, but
Yeah, he's a good guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him 8 years or so ago. We went to a event down in the Bahamas with Brad Barrett, who created grill grates. Again, another product that just came from tinkering in the garage, and it was just brilliant. Like, why did nobody else think to do this?
Yep. And yeah, we also interviewed Brad. So in fact, that's kind of how I met the guy up next to you on screen. It was basically through the hot seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep. No, absolutely. And speaking of grill grates, another product that accidentally became another use, was the grill grate. It was, to grill on to get those lines.
Yeah.
But then one day someone figured out if you just flip them over, you got yourself a little griddle.
Yeah.
Flat top action going on it. So indirectly, it had another use
Yep.
to that. It's up to the mind and the imagination of the user of the said product.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said
but
earlier, it's just a customer that's playing around with it and sees it from a whole different vantage point. Literally flipping it on its head. And
yeah.
I've got a griddle now. Pretty cool.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So Clint, with obviously being always so busy with AmazingRibs.com and the new steps forward and the future and continuation of AmazingRibs.com, where do you find the time to push to a whole nother venture And I am speaking of 901 Pig BBQ Apparel.
Oh yeah, that's one of the T-shirts I got on now. Smoked meat, not
Smoke
meth.
meat, not meth. Yep. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that
How did that come about? Because that's how it all started with Ray mentioning it on his holiday gift guide this past Christmas.
yeah. Yeah, that was just another example of my ADHD mind. I was laid up in bed pretty much, well, for 4.5 months, going back to June. I had to have ankle stabilization surgery and literally just in bed all summer. And, there's only so many shows you can watch on streaming when you're laid up in bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this idea. My wife works for the Humane Society here in Memphis, and they've got this cute t shirt that is 901. That's our area code. And instead of the zero, it had a little caricature of a dog. And I said, hey, that would be cool if there was a pig one that I could wear to Memphis in May and kind of show off. And there weren't any. So laid up in bed, I went and researched print on demand companies, created this 901 logo t-shirt for myself, just because I couldn't find one. And then I started tinkering with designs, coming up with my own. And, I got some attention for the early t-shirts. And then my kids kind of took it and ran with it, coming up with, there's probably 250 designs on there now at 901pig.com. You know, most of them are barbecue and grilling related, but also some
Mm-hmm.
culinary stuff in there as well. And
Nope.
just fun t-shirts that, I've got a million t-shirts. My bedroom is right next to my office. So my outfit for work is basically a t-shirt and maybe pants, just roll over here to my desk. So, sorry, Dutch.
There it is. Here,
Oh,
here
That's
it
why
comes. Here it comes.
see, that's
Here
why
it
the
comes.
camera,
PG-13 show, Clint.
yeah, that's why the
Come on
camera
now.
is up here. So
Gotcha. Maybe.
So I've got a lot of t-shirts, but almost all of them are, brand XYZ barbecue restaurant or,
Yeah.
you know, cooker or whatever. So, I just wanted some that had nice graphics on the front and not a bunch of product placement on the back. And, just something cool that I wouldn't mind wearing to work every day. So I've got my favorites, and I share those with the kids sometimes or whatever.
No, they're an interesting. Like you said, they're barbecue related, they're culinary related,
Hmm.
and some are just cool designs. If you go to the Facebook page, right off the bat, you have the peace logo with flames.
Oh, that
You
one's pretty
know
cool.
that's just a cool design. The barbecue is love. A little play off of Nike, just cue it. You
Yeah, that one's
know,
great too.
but some of
Yeah.
the ones in the shop that I found that are absolutely fantastic. Now I'm a big music guy. Barbecue and
Yeah.
music, they go hand in hand with me.
Yeah.
Always, looking at different things. And if anybody knows, everybody knows CBGB Barbecue New NYC.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
thought,
I saw it. I go, that is brilliant.
yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's going to be on the last list. And then, you have, Netflix Meat Fix,
Yeah, I thought you were going
which
for
was
the.
great. And then,
I thought you were going to go for the Grateful
oh,
Dead smoked meats.
well, that's the next one was the smoked meats, with the Grateful Dead in honor of, just losing one of the founding members, Bob Weir, last weekend, or
Yeah,
it was last week. Um, but you have that now. Like, okay, on some of that stuff, okay, of like the Grateful Dead, that one, or even what was like the Nike one, Just Grill It.
yeah, with the flaming.
How much of a thin line are you dancing?
It's
Got it. Gotcha.
it's a.
Gotcha.
They're all tributes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that's all you had to say. But no, there's a lot of cool ones.
Now I will
I'm
say that I went to CBGB's back in the day, and it's been
yeah,
many decades since anyone was in that storefront in Manhattan. But that was a cool
yeah.
place to see live music back in the day.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. But no, like I said, some of these, they're just incredible T-shirts that are definitely gonna, a there used to be this channel that played music videos,
Yes.
and it's a cheeseburger TV.
Yeah.
It's just they're just brilliant.
Well, the cool
Then
thing is,
there's
like,
you have
we're all kind of the same age, so a lot of them are
yeah,
throwbacks to when I was younger.
you know,
Like the MTVs and the CBGBs and Blockbuster Video, Blockbuster Barbecue, and just kind of a retro throwback to when I was young and enjoying all these now defunct brands.
no, absolutely.
Anyway, I'm glad to hear that you like them. It's definitely a lot of fun to see what people gravitate towards when orders come in. The kids sold a boat ton over the holidays, and it's fun to see which ones people pick.
Oh no, and then I'm looking at them. You have Meat Talica, uh, red hot grilling peppers, uh, Run BBQ. Which that is a
Run
classic.
DMC. Yep. Yeah, our youngest son wears.
Then the Woo BQ. It's just they're incredible designs. Some of them you look at them and they make you think to
Mhm.
figure it out, and just really cool stuff. And yeah, I will definitely be rocking some of these at the during the competition season for sure. Getting people's reaction on them. Like I said, that CBGB for sure. I know
Yeah.
one guy on our circuit that is going to go absolutely ape shit over that one. Absolutely. And no, Daddy Dutch, that is a great suggestion. Thank you for
What's that?
bringing that up. So while I was bored over some time, I decided I was going to start a pit life barbecue competition playlist.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was going to have, and I'm building it off of stuff we've all been listening to, that you'd hear at a competition or a
Mm,
backyard event or a backyard cook or party. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, what makes it really cool that each guest be asked to be part of it and give, if you'd like to contribute to the playlist, if you were to add to the playlist, Clint, what 3 songs would you suggest?
That is an interesting one. I got 2. I did a contest in Connecticut 15 years or so ago, and I served the crowd and everything, and we were cleaning up in my site, and I heard Dave Matthews Band playing, and I thought they were playing the album over the loudspeakers for this event. And then somebody came over to my site and said, Dave Matthews is up on stage. And he was in his tour bus going to upstate Connecticut for a concert up in New Haven or someplace. And the event organizer was best friends with him or something. So Dave stopped his tour bus, went to this tiny event, got up on stage, and did an acoustic set for about an hour and a half. And it was
Wow.
it was the craziest thing ever. Just to, it really sounded like they were just playing it on the loudspeaker. And why would Dave Matthews be at a random ass concert and, a barbecue contest in Connecticut?
Yeah.
So I don't know the song, but it would probably be a Dave Matthews song.
Dave Matthews. Okay.
And then when I competed, most of the time I was doing it on my own. So doing all the setup, doing all the prep overnight, making sure everything cooked overnight. And then when it came time for the turn-ins, I had a playlist that I put on headphones, and it was just hardcore music to get the blood pumping.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that the first stuff is coming off and you got to start boxing. So I'd have to look back and see what that playlist was. I know that there was a really heavy metal Linkin Park song that was the one that I'd go to 20 minutes before that first turn in, just to get me going a little bit.
Okay.
Clint,
All
and
right.
if
All right.
you do come up with 3, 3 is only a suggestion. Some people have given 4, 7
Okay.
when they come to mind.
Yes. Some
Yeah.
people's phones go off about 4 o'clock in the morning from a specific somebody
Oh, I
with,
gotcha.
"Hey, add this."
Nice.
Okay, when I wake up.
Just got awake at 4 o'clock your time because that's 3 o'clock my time.
I'll come
You're
up
just
with
shutting it.
I'll come
Yeah.
up with a third one.
No, like I said, we're in contact now, so take your time, think about it,
Yeah.
and
I don't mind
we'll get
texting you
back
at
together.
I'll
No,
text you at 3 or 4 in the
absolutely.
morning.
You wouldn't be the only one, brother, and
Yeah.
neither will he.
Man, I dated myself earlier today. I saw that the band U2 is 50 years old this year, and that blew my mind. They've got
Crazy.
they've got a 50th anniversary tour coming up. My wife and I saw them at the Sphere in Las Vegas, and it was just what a crazy
Oh,
venue.
wow. Yeah, I heard that is a great venue to see some, especially like they were saying, a band like U2,
Yeah, and
and that it was just phenomenal.
Fish just played there recently, and it was a crazy venue. I don't like Vegas much, but it was worth going for that.
For that, no, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So with the apparel, what is the website for that? I know there's a Facebook page that you click the link and it brings you right to it, but is it an Etsy?
Yeah,
Web?
it lives on Etsy, but if you just go to 901 Pig, it's only 3 letters, 3 numbers, 901pig.com. That forwards to the Etsy store.
Okay, perfect.
Can't get an easier URL than that.
No, absolutely. And then obviously you can also find you at amazingribs.com.
Yep, that's where I am 7 days a week.
Two nice and easy addresses to get there.
Yep.
No.
So Dutch, what was your latest entry into the barbecue playlist?
Oh boy.
Burning
Let me scroll
down
my text messages.
I want to say it was something simple like Back in Black of AC/DC.
Yeah. Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, let's see.
Burning down the house.
God forbid. You don't actually want
that is a good one. Oh, that is a
play
good
that
one.
play it every Thanksgiving when some moron decides to deep fry a turkey in his kitchen. Without fail. Without fail, you turn on the news on Thanksgiving and some morons burnt down his house.
No, absolutely. No, you know how the number 3 came along is a lot of the guys cook a lot of CBA events, Champions Barbecue Alliance, and with that sanctioning body, you have to have a walk-up song. So if you get a call, they start playing your song, then announce your team name. So that's how the third song came about. That the first one automatically would be that guest's walk-up song, then add 2 more to it. I was trying to think. I go, how did I come up with 3? But no, that was that. But no, 3 was a good one. And like I said, it's always, hey, you can't have too much music. So keep on adding to them. Dutch, it would have been Back in Black or Enter Sandman.
I was Enter Sandman because I did see that, and I wasn't sure if that was it or not, or if it was in the group text. I couldn't remember.
But
I
knew it was one of them.
I knew I sent you Enter Sandman.
Yeah, you sent me all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's just another fun thing to do and come up with, get people's different personality aspect to it, on what they're listening to, and just get a wonderful, nice little mix to it. So we have.
You're lucky that you and I didn't connect over the summer when I was laid up in bed. I'd be hitting you up 24 hours a day. That was pretty boring.
Clint, like I said, man, I'm a mailman. I'm by myself all day long. So feel free, brother.
Yep, normally it's me in the house alone with our dog Charcoal.
Nice. Actually, mine are kind of quiet right now. I don't hear them above me. So hopefully they're sleeping, or else there's a wonderful mess I got to go clean up there. They got into something, but also Mama's home, so I don't think I think they're on their best behavior.
I gotcha.
They're gonna wait to have free for all with me tomorrow. So, but Clint, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Love all the updates and the great things to come with AmazingRibs.com.
And definitely stay tuned.
And the 901 Pig, absolutely incredible stuff. so unique, so creative. Like I said, I will be rocking some of them for sure this year. But yeah, keep up the great work, brother. And it was great to connect with you. And we will definitely do this again down the line.
Excellent. I appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulties. You may have to
Hey,
move to
that's New Hampshire weather. That's my
yeah.
fault, brother. That's my fault.
You
I
need
apologize to you.
you need to move to a real city.
Mm.
But
The
Dutch
real
was
city's
also
about 45 minutes away.
oh, okay. Good meeting
I'm
you
in one
too.
of those areas.
You too, Clint. You too. It was fun.
And yeah, and if you guys ever make it down to Memphis, I am here. We're back down to only one contest in May.
That we are. There was some conflicting posts on that
Yeah.
website in particular. And then I always say, when in doubt, wait for Kel. And
Yep.
and then Kel came out the other day. He goes, yeah, we got it. It is done off for
Yeah.
2026. So Memphis in May is the only show in town for
Yep.
2026. So
Yeah, Meathead and Kel were down at Smoke Slam last summer, but that is done. It was a 2-year experiment that did not work out, and I
yep.
think it's for the best. Memphis in May is a staple here in Memphis, and
No,
really this,
absolutely.
and hopefully they can move back to Tom Lee Park because that's definitely a important part of that contest. So we will see, but
Absolutely.
I welcome you both to come down.
That'd be
Oh,
amazing.
well, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, like I
All right.
said, Clint, thank you. You've been so generous with your time, and
Yeah, no worries.
best of everything going future, and here's to an incredible 2026, sir.
On 2 legs too. I'm looking forward to it.
There you go. There you go.
All right, be well, guys.
You too, Clint. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Well, that's it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Daddy Dutch, thank you for jumping in on this wonderful bullshit of internet. And it looks like you just what? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes. So go ahead, text me all you goddamn want. I know you can hear me because I can hear your heater or fan in the background. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You have all our episodes right there at your fingertips. Catch the audio wherever audio is found, Apple, Spotify, the whole nine. Questions and comments, please send them to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. Like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. Next week. Really? Really? Can't hear me on. Well, now I can hear myself on your StreamYard feed, so your microphone is working just fine. Next week, from Twyford's Barbecue, the one and only Mr. Randy Twyford will be joining me, and that is sure to be a good one. Randy is a character, to say the least. So tune in for that. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next week, keep the smoke rolling.